After 5 years, this anti-racism gesture is being seen less. But the boss of the Premier League tells us players will take the knee for the first time this season, this weekend, marking Black History Month. Is taking a knee still effective?
It's always been their choice. It's never been something that has been forced upon them, either collectively or individually. They had another discussion in the summer, as you know. They're going to do it really at the No Room for Racism match round this year. And we then decide whether they want to continue or stop. So I think that they want to make sure that whatever they do, it's effective.
Football frames racism.
Bro, you know I'm not really into football, so a quick question, yeah? When they first took the knee back in 2020, were they allowed to, or were they stopped, like America?
I wouldn't like to say it was imposed on them, but I'd say it's frowned upon. You know them ones there, because everyone started doing it, and then one or two players started like saying, you know what, this is performative, this not like it's not really solving anything. And one or two players started saying, when they were kneeling down, one or two players just stay standing and stuff, wouldn't kneel down, and they would always make the headlines because they never kneel down. And because you know what it is with this knee thing, yeah, the race, we know this country's racist and all that stuff, yeah. The racists don't respect anything the black people are standing for or trying to do. They don't care. They're here to like interrupt it and or whatever, yeah. So when they see these black people, there's not also these players that don't have no respect for this knee thing. To be honest, I don't have no respect for it either. When they see that, they highlight it to say, see, it's performative. There was no point in it. Rare. Even the black players don't even believe in it and stuff like that. So it's a mad one.
Okay.
As a societal problem requiring education.
What do you think diversity means?
It doesn't matter about cultures, it matters about all of us are humans. Diversity is like what makes you different.
Did you hear what that little kid said? All of us are human. Even children know this, bro.
Richard Masters has come to this West London school to see the Premier League's anti-discrimination and diversity scheme in action.
Antoine Semenyo was subject to
environment. Very few other places you can come and scream and shout and support your team. But I think that fans know where that line is. No violence, no threat and intimidation, and no discrimination. If you do, then you'll be dealt with.
And Sky News revealed last week police are investigating more than 4 times as many online racist incidents this season in English football.
You know, social media is a thing. You can't roll it back. And obviously we want our fans to be served on social media platforms positively. We don't want that to stop. The bit we want to stop is the online abuse, and we're very restless about that.
What is it you think would actually help to eradicate this racist abuse, particularly online, or is there almost a reluctant acceptance now it's going to exist, it's just how quickly it can be removed?
I just simply don't think it should be part of a professional footballer's life to have to put up with this sort of stuff, which is why we're taking what action we can.
Would you prefer it if there were identity?
Yeah, I get what you're saying and stuff, but all this stuff, it needs to be. Listen, football is a working white working class man's culture
Sport,
and stuff. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, no, I'm saying yeah.
Yeah, it's their thing. Yeah. So it's no one's taking that away from them and stuff. Yeah, but it's their thing that they don't seem to want to let go of, and it's mad because like. In football, yeah. I'll give you an example. Football is just like I'm a man. I love football. I support Liverpool and all them things. There, I love football, and Liverpool has a history of like racism and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just the other day, I think was it the last World Cup where England was at when the someone missed a penalty. I think it was Saka that missed a penalty or whatever. The black guys missed a penalty, and the way, and the mad thing is. Out of all the people that missed penalties, you had Harry Kane, who was a white guy, and other like white people missed penalties, but it's solely the hate was solely focused on the black players. Do you know what I'm saying? And they were getting all sorts of things and stuff, yeah. And see some of these players, they come online as well, and they'll show you their inboxes, their DMs, what these people actually send to them. These are like huge, they're celebrities. They got huge profiles and stuff. These are the ones that can be bothered to come and show us what their DMs. Imagine the ones that they see it and they just don't care. Because it happens to a lot more people than they think and stuff, yeah. And I think why this is happening right now as well is because we got to admit there's a rise in this far right movement and all that stuff. Trump in America, Tommy Robinson, Elon Musk, Nigel Farage, and the Reform Party, and a lot of people. This is giving them a lot of chest. Do you know what I'm saying? It's giving them a lot of chest to come out of the woodwork and stuff, because it's the racists that's running stuff right now. Do you know what I'm saying? We can see what's going on in the world, and basically, it's just been highlighted in football. With all this madness squad, it's just been highlighted in football, and they will let you know very, very quick. These white men, when you're playing football, they'll dash a banana at you, call you a monkey, make ooh sound.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of players go through that, where people throw bananas on the pitch, and you know what I mean. Steep.
Like there was a case of Sorry, there was a case of a Barcelona player that dashed the banana on the pitch here. He went and picked up the banana, opened it up, and started eating it. Because it
is what it is.
And people would say, "Oh, just respond like that and stuff." Yeah, but that's him. That's his personality.
Yeah, that's his personality. Yeah.
And then you got another player, like a Mario Balotelli or another black player, who they got abused on the pitch, and they just walked off the pitch. Game done. Yeah. No, like I'm not playing. And the rest of the players will walk. Some players will walk with them. Some players won't and stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, it's just. I don't think it'll ever be eradicated. This taking the knee stuff is just it's needy.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand what taking the knee means. I mean, it will highlight conversations like this, because by them choosing to even take the knee, it's made us come to have this conversation. So it does highlight that racism exists, but it doesn't have any effect on eradicating it, or even having some kind of like you know lesser racism going on. It doesn't really have that effect. It creates discussions. Who knows? Maybe it does, because some of these discussions might make people wake up. Because I don't know if you've seen some of these videos on YouTube where there's a lot of like black people who've managed to like take white people out of racist organizations and racist movements. So sometimes these things do have an effect, but those are
individual.
Exactly.
This is an institutional thing, bro.
Yeah.
If you change one or two people's mind, this is an institutional thing. You got big, massive publications like The Sun, the Mirror, Daily Mail. We know what these guys do, bro. They always like they do like subtle little microaggression, little things like they'll put one black person on the page and say, "Oh, it's this person." They've been doing it for years. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? These people are not just fueled by a little thing. It's the whole institution. Yeah. The whole of England.
For real.
It allows this. Do you know what I'm saying? Real. And they'll come out and say, bro, let me ask you a question. Let's just say this was anti-Semitism, yeah? What do you think will happen?
Oh man, I'm telling you, the top.
Thank you.
The people at the top will be losing their jobs. Not just like, oh, let's take a knee. Some heads will be rolling from the top down.
AI cameras in those stadiums for anyone who even says anything anti-Semitism. You know what I mean? They'll have all sorts of stuff. Yeah. They'll have AI thing before you enter the stadium. All sorts of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's black people, innit?
Yeah.
It don't matter that much. Just take a knee, and they've been wearing bands in football for years that says fair play and soccer and all that, because it's been going on from one day.
Yeah.
We're in 2025. This is not nothing new, bro.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
When it's sorry, go on.
No, I'm saying nothing new. Nothing new.
Yeah, they're nothing new. So like when you see on social media as well, people are like, the Victim Olympics, or people are when you talk about stuff like this, angers me, annoys me as well, because the more people say this, it's like the people who have been done wrong are not allowed to like speak up now, because you're talking some idiotness about Victim Olympics and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's the true facts, bro. It's the true facts, bro. These men, like they ever get paid a lot of money to play football and stuff, And you know what, bro? Football is a very complex conversation, because a lot of these guys, as much as they get racially abused, they still play for England rather than play for their country, which is something that. But it literally lifts my mind, bro.
Money. Popularity,
But you don't really get paid for playing international football, bro.
Yeah, but it's a popularity and fame. Like, do you know what I mean? You know, and also they don't want to lose the respect of those who throw the bananas at them. Do you know what I mean? Because it means if they lose their respect, they lose popularity, they won't get those contracts anymore. Do you know what I mean? You know, and you know that, you know, most of these countries that they come from, they're still developing countries, so they're not going to get much money from there. It takes a very brave character. I've seen some people do it. I've seen some people say, no, I'm playing for Nigeria. No, I'm playing for Ghana. No, I'm playing for Mozambique. No, I'm playing for Cameroon. I've seen some people like literally do that. And they still come out, you know, doing, you know, being respected, and they still come out unscathed, and they still play for the teams that they're signed to. But not everyone has that confidence, bro. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone has that confidence.
For example, in the team that I support, Liverpool, yeah, there is not like in our full starting 11. There's not one like English player. There's a British player in there. There's not. I mean, there's not English player in there. There's a Scottish player in there, and them things there. But it's full of like foreign nationals and people that people call immigrants and all them things there. And again, I'll go back to highlighting this, like I've said about other things in this country. Yeah, like this country won't work without immigration. If you take the color away, then you're left with a bland white wall. Who wants? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be realistic about it. The Premier League is only flourishing. It's always flourishing and stuff, yeah. But bro, if we look at like the super players from this Premier League and all over the world, yeah, we'll see there are people of color in them things there.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And yeah, bro. Like, yeah, if I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say anyway.
Let's watch the rest. I want to see a bit more of this. I want to see a bit more of this. I want to see a bit more of this video.
Sorry, my boy.
Obviously, anything that makes it easier, I would be, in principle, supportive of. But I think that goes to a lot of other issues about freedom of information.
At Premier League HQ, they feel Elon Musk's X and Instagram owner Meta are cooperating. It might not seem that way to players receiving the hate.
As you can see, you could only imagine what this must be like when a player is...
I'm confused. Did they say Elon Musk and X? Elon Musk and X. I'm confused. Isn't that the same man that was at that rally saying fight or be extinct?
Yeah,
like, motivating these racists.
The same guy that was giving the far right salute and them things there.
Yeah. The same. Oh, bro, this world is mad.
Finished a match. If we swipe through, you can see a variety of the messages that get sent.
And Tim Cooper, who investigates racism, is calling for extra protections.
The platforms can do more by changing their algorithms, looking at the opting in to see abuse rather than perhaps opting out of seeing it. That would be a step in the right direction. And ultimately, it's for us to keep trying to push cases through and get good real-world deterrent actions alongside law enforcement and other enforcement bodies around.
Bro, I'm against racism online, but I'm also against trying to fake an algorithm just so we can see happy stuff. Like, I'm against that because that can be used in all other aspects of our life, not just racism.
Because you're just sweeping the dust under the carpet.
That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. I've still got to meet these people in the streets. I've still got to meet them at the stadiums. I've still got to meet them on the stands. This is not how it works. Like,
you saw Nico's march the other day.
Yeah.
You see them at the bus stop. You're standing next to them. These times they got 3 knives in their back, looking to use them on you. And
bro,
things there.
one of the women who was at the bus stop that was saying how she hates blacks and she can't stand blacks. Yeah, she lost her job. Apparently, she works at a nursing home. Can you imagine that? She's looking after people's families. It could be someone's black granddad.
I can't imagine that.
Someone's black
granddad. I can't imagine that. They're all around.
Bro, it's mad.
The world.
Police told us they want to bolster the racism fight with a new unified footballing entity.
It is a hugely collaborative effort, and we also want to do what we've learned in this space. We want to share that with others. It's very much gone beyond just a text rant now, which is obviously bad enough, but now we're seeing that people are using images to create, some of the most offensive things that you could imagine. I think video will be something in the future going forward that could be a problem. And we have seen that with deep fakes. But again, our monitoring will hopefully be adept enough that we are able to pick this up and then deal with it when it comes through.
It can seem a lot of the abusers are becoming more...
Sorry, pause it 1 second. Pause it 1 second.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
It's paused.
See, I just saw the guy wearing this no room for racism badge. You see that, yeah? See, when I saw this reminds me of the Drake lawsuit the other day, where the lawyer knew there's no chance of him winning, but they knew they're going to get money anyway. It's the same thing with this year. This thing, they've been doing it for years. Someone's obviously the head of this racism campaign thing, yeah, and they're getting paid a lot. They put all these stupid badges everywhere. Nothing has changed. Nothing. Matter of fact, it's worse with the social media stuff. Twitter's a cesspit full of these scumbags. Social media is a cesspit full of them. You know them ones there. Nothing has changed. So you can wear your no room for racism and all this stuff and all that. Again, like I said, if this was people being anti-Semitic, we know what happens, yeah? But other groups just don't really matter that much. You know them ones they say, oh yeah, we'll make a little poster, tick a box, let them know, we're doing something. Oh yeah, next year we're gonna make another poster with the different colours on it. Yeah, look, it's a new poster from last. It's like this Black History Month.
But
the
you
whole
know
of Black History reduced to 1 month.
Yeah.
Really?
But to be honest, look, I've always said, one thing I've always believed, it's not up to anyone to teach us our history. It's up to us to teach ourselves our history. So if they've given us 1 month, I'm grateful for it. But with me, I will do the rest of the 11 months. Do you understand? And that's what a lot of people are not doing. So I can't even blame them for giving us Black History Month. If they want to do so, thumbs up. But we need to do the rest of the 11 months because no one's going to teach us our history.
I just remember in school doing Black History Month, and they never really taught you. It's all lies they're teaching.
It's not their job
to. Lies,
but it's not their nonsense. Job to. I used to be angry with it. I used to be that guy that would be like, oh my God, they lied to me. Then I realized, you know what, bro? If I move to Romania to teach as a black man, I'm gonna teach their curriculum.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's not their job to teach us who we are or who we were. It's not. It's their job to lie to us, bro, because it's called white supremacy, bro. They need to maintain that image, bro. It's not their job.
I agree. It's not their job because they don't look at us like that. Now, let me ask you a question. The black teachers in your school, yeah, was they not showing you certain things and showing you?
Once in a while, they'll say certain things, but it wasn't part of the curriculum, so they couldn't really go deep. Once in a while, they'll say subtle things because I learned a couple things here and there.
I was like, yo. Yeah, they're gonna look at you a certain way.
Yeah. You got that. But they couldn't actually teach you what they. Because for instance, I learned more about Julius Caesar than I did about Mansa Musa. I learned more about Alexander the Great than I learned about any African king or any African emperor. But they were there. These African people were there. Do you understand? Do you know how many African chiefs were exiled to Madagascar, to Seychelles, to Mauritius, to the Caribbeans, and they were like well known to have defeated the English and defeated the Portuguese and the Spanish, but we don't get these stories. And even forget that. We're talking about the transatlantic slave trade prior and during, right? But let's talk about before that. Ancient African history, bro. You understand? Ancient African history. There's so much that I never learned, like I'm trying to say, in school. And I realized it wasn't their job. Because the more I started learning outside of school, the more I realized how much school is designed to make you a certain robotic mind state. That's what it's designed for.
I agree, but also you got to understand, coming from like our background, our parents didn't know any of this stuff, bro.
Yeah. That's because who were they educated by? Colonials. Remember we had this conversation in one of our podcasts. We talked about how our parents grew up in colonial Nigeria and Ghana. My mum is a colonial baby. Right? Her mum, my grandma, was a colonial baby. My dad was a colonial baby. His dad was a colonial baby. Do you really think that these people were taught anything about themselves? They had to go and learn from the local wise man or the local chief or the local intelligent person who carried on the history orally or verbally. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because more time, they weren't allowed. But they burnt our libraries, burnt our books. Look, your country, the Benin Wall. When they came through those walls, what the first thing they done? They burnt any text that would give you any knowledge of who you were. That's what they do. So this is the reason why what you're saying, I agree with you. This makes no sense because the only way this thing can be fixed is to fix the mind state of the people. These people have been raised in a society where they've been taught to look down on blacks for so long. They've in school only learned about slavery. They've not learned about. Let me finish.
They can fix the mind state of people.
Yeah, go on. No, sorry. I want to hear what you're going to say. They can fix the mind state of people.
I didn't want to call you.
No, that's cool, bro.
They can fix the mind state of people. For instance, it'll take time. It'll take maybe couple generations. They can. For example, let's just say, as an example, if every now and then, or when things happen about black people, positive and real stories that really reflect them. And Black History Month, on your front pages, put some real interesting facts about black people. Let the people know. Let the people know that black people was in England before white people even ever existed here. Let them know the truth. So much is out there that they just. But they could change this if they was to like educate their own people, but they choose not to because deep down the people at the top still in this country, that's why I say it's institutional. Deep down they still look at us as to how they looked at us back in the days. Like we're still animals, bro. Yeah, they still look at us.
Ever since they coined the phrase the dark continent, which was like during the 1800s, people have always thought Africa is this mysterious, mythological, black magic, evil, wicked continent, and that's the reason why you guys are suffering, because they don't know the truth is they mask that as the real reason being these people have put loads of sanctions on Africa. You know, they've stolen so much from Africa, and they've put fake puppet leaders in place who they can control and are so greedy they can control them. So they don't mind giving 60% away and only receiving 40%, or sometimes even that's even an exaggeration, giving 80% away and only receiving, 95% away and only receiving 5%. But they're happy with that 5% while the rest of the country suffers, bro. They don't tell you the things that they've been doing in the background, in the workings, and to make Africa what it is. But bro, listen, man, like, man, this is one of those conversations. It could go several different ways. Several
you're right.
ways.
They could change the people's mind state, but it comes from the top. And unless they want to, but bro, see these kind of things here where they sit there, not this guy specifically, but his organization, these organizations, we're trying to stop racism. All this money they're spending on these stupid posters and badges and the clothes they're wearing, it's almost like money laundering.
Yeah,
they're not doing anything.
You and I know that because we know exactly what's going on. But the average Joe thinks that this is like the greatest attempt that could ever be made. You and I know, like I said, in school when we sat there, my white counterparts got to know about history that isn't even theirs, bro. Rome is not their history. Rome is not history, but because it's white people, it's thumbs up for them.
They was teaching man in history about the Great Depression, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Who gives a damn about that, bro? Who gives a damn about that? You know what I'm trying to say? Bruv, they taught us about World War I, World War II, but they left out the bit of all the black soldiers from the Commonwealth countries, from Africa, the Caribbean, Asia, you name it, who were frontline soldiers who were thrown there to go and die. They leave that bit out. And the ones who helped, the heroes whose names are unsung, they leave that bit out. Even today, when you go and buy puppies, you look on the box when they're trying to sell you the puppy for to remember World War I and II, yeah? And it's all just white soldiers. Like there were no Asian and African and Caribbean soldiers, bro. They leave that bit out, bro. They leave that bit out. All these people that were sent on a rescue mission to go and save those people from Hitler, they leave that bit out, bro. They leave that bit out. But you know what? You said, look, we're talking about portrayal, yeah? We're talking about portrayal, yeah? I want to show you something real quick. Look at this, bro.
These two cartoons
this is what I mean.
are about Africa. Can you guess where they're from? Both were made in the mid-20th century. But let's take a closer look at how the United States portrayed African countries.
Pause it, one second. You can play it, but bro, I already know Russia is pro-Africa. I already know Russia is pro-Africa.
It doesn't matter. Let me just finish it.
This is the image that they show children. This is the seed that was planted in our brain about African people, completely untouched by civilization. Now let's take a look at the Soviet Union and how they did it. This is the exact same time period, but obviously there is a human aspect. A man smiling, growing crops outside of his home. The same people, but two very different stories. The indoctrination starts with the children.
So you see what I mean? If they want to do something, they can start from education. Don't fuel them with hatred and racism. Make them go into the world and say, "Oh, you need to stop being racist." You've made them racist. You've been doing it in your movies for years. You've been doing it in your documentaries for years. You've been doing it in your cartoons for years. You've been doing it in your textbooks for years. You've been doing all this stuff for years in every which form of that you can use to do so. And now you're wondering where they get all this from. These are ignorant people, bro. These people are ignorant people. Like, bruv, where do they get the concept of banana and a monkey from? Where do they get it from?
These times, I'm sorry, but white people are closer looking to monkeys than us. You know them ones there. You shave a monkey's skin off.
To me, it's not even about that, because that doesn't mean anything. All this means is that where are they getting it from?
To dehumanize us.
Thank you.
Just like the word Black Thursday, everything black is bad. Just everything just
because they've been indoctrinated for, I'm talking centuries, bro. Centuries, bro.
And see when slavery got abolished or whatever, and everyone's slavery got abolished or whatever. Do people really think, like these people just woke up the next day or next year and be like, oh, these black people are cool now.
Yeah.
Let's just all get along equally.
Yeah.
Oh, la 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 la.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You know, even with the African Americans,
they're probably hating even more because they're like, "Raw, this used to be our pets."
Yeah.
Now, they're trying to fight for the same jobs
bro,
as us.
listen,
None of them
there is a deep-rooted problem, and it cannot be solved by sports. I'm sorry, but this is a joke. These guys think that people coming together to watch a bunch of people kick a ball is going to fix this problem. Seriously. Seriously. These people leave classrooms to come to these stadiums. These people leave in places of education to come and watch these sports. And this is where their mind states are fueled with this nonsense from. You know, you ever seen that video, that Pink Floyd video where they go into this conveyor belt and they go into the machine and come out? They go into the machine with identity and come out uniformed. They have no identity afterwards.
Oh yeah.
And it's about the schooling. It's about the schooling. It's
like
about
a conveyor belt.
Yeah, and it's about the schooling system. The whole video is about the schooling system. This is where it all starts from, bro. This is where it all starts from, bro. Where you can make a black child so insecure. Because remember, like I said, it's not their job to teach us. And those of us who continue thinking that they're going to teach us about who we are, to instill the pride on where we come from and who we are, you're sorely mistaken. It's not their job. We have to learn about our history, learn about who we are to teach our children. So when they go to school and get lied to about, the only thing we could teach you is about slavery. That's what we could teach you about. Sorry, slavery. That's it. But you can ask, why is that all you want to teach us about? Because that's their only involvement with us. That's their only involvement with us. That's the only involvement they want to have with us, bro. They won't tell you about their involvement when you go back to ancient Greek and the ancient Egyptians. They won't tell you that, bro. They won't tell you about ancient Abyssinia and how they had an influence on the Middle East. They won't tell you about none of this stuff, bro. They won't tell you.
No. They won't tell you about the Moors that taught their great Greek philosophers and all these things.
Yeah.
They won't tell you about any of these things.
They won't. They won't
tell you about how we uncivilized people came to Europe to civilize Europe. You know them ones there.
They won't.
Anyway,
they won't.
I'm not gonna go too deep into that.
They won't.
I mean, just your basic everyday thing: washing, bathing, cleaning your skin. Remember where it came from. That's what I'm saying.
They won't.
What, you're gonna humanize us and say we're animals? Okay.
Yep. They won't, bro. They won't. They won't.
Okay.
They won't tell you. They won't tell you. Bro, listen, I could just bring this up right here, bro. Watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna keep it like as PG as I can, bro, because I don't want to go down the same road as these ignorant bastards, bro. But I'm just speaking facts. Facts that are hidden, right? These people, man, seriously, they need to wake up, bro. They need to wake up, man. Seriously.
Nah, they practice. You know what's so crazy? Are you about to play the clip when I say this quickly?
Yeah, bro. I tell you what, I'll play it while I look for this because I don't want to.
No. I was going to say, you know what's so crazy? Yeah.
Oh, so I thought you said play the clip. Clip.
No, I was going to say something.
Okay, go on, brother.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? Yeah, because even through school, yeah, during history, we learned about FDR, American politics, all this stuff, and we learned about obviously the Austrian painter, and he was obviously highly demonized. We learned about the Aryan race and all that. Yeah, so you really dig down and look, yeah, and see that, bro. That's another thing as well, yeah. Who is this country's biggest hero? Before we carry on, who's this country's biggest hero, war hero? Think about it.
Churchill.
You know what Churchill's policies on non-blacks, Aborigines from Australia, Indians are? Have you heard it? I can get it.
I don't even need to know because I don't need to know because the fact that Churchill and Gandhi ever liked each other, that says a lot to me.
He didn't even like Gandhi, bro.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. The fact that he even tolerated my man, that says a lot to me because Gandhi was a bloody racist, bro. So the fact that Churchill even tolerated him, bro, look at this picture I just put up. Do you know what that is?
Tell me.
That's Haile Selassie of Abyssinia.
Oh yeah, it's Selassie. Yeah.
Of Abyssinia, on, man. AKA Ethiopia.
You can never forget that shape up. That shape up, you can.
and that's his queen sat there, yeah. And look who's bowing to him.
The Queen of England.
And her husband bowing to them. Now you know why? Because they are the true descendants. Bro, I've never understood. Look, I'm just gonna keep it fact, yeah. The Middle East and the Horn of Africa is where all the stories you find in Abrahamic religion come from. So how did that bloodline then become European?
they base their whole their whole kingdom thing off of like.
This is what I mean about from young. They teach you this from young, indoctrinate you from young. So now you're looking down on people because you've been given a false illusion of history. You think that Roman history is yours.
Get out of my country. I'm like,
bro, America used to call Italians all kinds of racist stuff. All kinds of racist stuff. They even hate Spanish. But guess where Columbus was from? So I'm saying they're very deluded people, bro. And they teach these people delusions. And they come out into football fields with that delusion. They go into workplace with that delusion. But you see the real people who know what time it is? They know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but remember, Drazzy, we're giving them too much intellect. We're going too deep. These are the people who's going to buy that same hat from my man the other day, bro.
Oh, yeah, that stupid hat. That stupid hat. That stupid hat.
Those are the people
that's
going to buy that.
Oh, bro.
These are the people we're talking about. So we don't. They're very like. But that's sausages for brains.
This is what they want these people thinking like, bro. This is what. So all this pretend and this facade, as if we want to fix things and we want to change things for the sports of hip hop. I mean, for the sports in football. You know what you've done in the schools in the first place. You know the lies you've put in the movies. You know the lies you've put in the documentaries. You know the lies you've put in the papers. You know the lies you've put in the books. From day one, you've been doing these lies. You've created this mindset. You've created this monster, this beast, this ignorance on two legs. And they go into every sector of life. Every sector of life. They're not just football. These people are down the street just looking at you funny because of what they've been told about you before they even met you.
Hold on, going back to football, yeah. Going back to football, yeah.
Detected.
Going back to football. Like, remember, I think the English invented football or whatever. They had something to do with it, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently,
they are so great at football. There's this thing in football as well, yeah.
But you know what? Sorry, but I really hate to cut you. But apparently, and I learned this quite long ago, its roots stem in ancient South America, the Aztecs.
Okay.
The Aztecs.
Okay. I'm not gonna argue. But you know, there's
people even comment. I don't know.
You know, there's a thing in football, yeah. I think it was a white guy highlighted it quite a few years ago, and this shows you how deep-rooted the racism in football actually is. In football itself, never mind the fans. This is something people need to hear. So, in football itself, yeah, bruv, there's like hardly any black managers. And there's been successful black managers that's come up before. They've done successful things, much better than their white counterparts. But yet, they're not. They get sent back down to the Premiership or something. They're not used to the Championship.
Because they'll rather you put one knee on the dirt. They'll rather you put one knee on the dirt than fix the real problem, bro.
And also, a white player highlighted a few years ago, and I can find this video for anyone who wants to doubt my words, yeah? Someone, I was a white player that said this years ago, yeah? You don't see a lot of black captains. Do you know why? Because to be a captain in a football game, you've got to be quite aware of everything, knowledgeable and all them things there. And so, the reason why there's not a lot of black captaincy is because they don't feel like black people are that clever and smart. That's why in football, they more use them for their physicality, their pace. Read every news headline about a footballer when he scores or when he's done well, and then compare that to a white person when they do the same thing. And you'll see, they'll talk about their size, their ability, their never like their brains or nothing. And this was something I saw years ago on a documentary, and a white player said this. And it made sense because there's not a lot of black captaincy in football. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just the fans, it's actually rooted in the game itself.
Bro, I'm not surprised. That's what I'm saying. And it's not just football, bro. It's not just football. Come on, man. But let me see the rest of this. I want to actually see what more nonsense they've got to
talk. And that's when working with the platforms is so important, so that you can go to them with new spellings or new things that people are trying to circumvent particular filters or particular AI algorithms, and then they will hopefully add them in, or we can push them if we see them more often to add them into their searches.
But the fear for so many players is still that just for being black, football can feel an unsafe environment, whether in stadiums or on the very platforms used to promote the Premier League. Rob Harris, Sky News.
I'm not at all fooled by this. You see this? This is fueling more hatred. That's what this was designed for. Because you know these flaggers and all these ignorant racists that are running around angry with immigrants and angry with non-English people, non-white people, yeah? They watch this and go, I'm sick and tired of these people constantly pulling a race card. I'm sick and tired of them getting a platform. They're not the only ones that have been persecuted, the only one being oppressed. We're being oppressed as white people as well. Can't stand it. This is what this is fuel. This is fueling more of it. Bro, they know exactly what they're doing, bro. They're very, very, very calculated people, bro. They're very, very calculated people.
Their cleverness. They're mad clever. They're mad clever.
Yeah, but they use it for the wrong stuff every time. They use it for the wrong stuff, bro. They use it for the wrong stuff every time.
Because that's what kind of people. I'm not. Anyway, anyway, yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing. They know that at this time when there's tension in the air, you can see these people are angry. They've been falling up flags. They've been going to the center of the city and making a statement. And all of a sudden, you give this. You give this to make them even more angry. Like this gonna go. Oh, you know what? We need to stop. Throwing bananas.
Yeah, we need to stop. You know what? What, John Day?
Yeah. They said it.
Lad,
said it. Yeah.
No more that racism stuff. Yeah, no more of that racism stuff.
You hear what Sky News said? Yeah, you hear what the FA kept up. Yeah, we gotta stop it, mate. Come on, man. Yeah. Premier League said we gotta stop it, mate. You know what I mean? Come on. My God, it's unbelievable, bro. But listen, man, we could go on this topic forever. So I'm gonna let the people give us their opinions, man. Let us know what you think. Keep it real in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Press the notification button so you're up to date with everything that we post in the future. And thank you very much for watching. And I hope some of this resonated with you. If it didn't, feel free to put in the comments. This is you're free to leave your opinions. Just as long as you don't use the N-word or disrespect us, you're free to leave your opinions. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, listen, brother. Peace, beloved.
Peace, God.
Peace, beloved.
Peace, my brother.
God.
Come on.